What's up, y'all? College football is approaching fast. Check out another version of the Boss and the Sauce show coming up right now. Here we go. The Oklahoma State Cowboys. Now, Coach Mike Gurdy pulls a rabbit out of his hat this year, hiring offensive coordinator Sean Gleason. But the offense will be determined by a redshirt freshman QB Spencer Sanders and how well the running back rotation works out with him. Now, they are solid at the wide receiver and the O-line position, but the defense has a tradition of bending and breaking, and the Cowboys need to saddle up this defense that was giving up 452 yards per game, which would only lead them to another 7-6 season. So I got them locked in at another 7-6 season right here.
Hey, head coach Mike Gundy has been there 15 years, right? Going in 16 years. He gets 5 on defense, 5 on offense. So last year, they finished up at 7-6 with a bowl upset win over Mizzou. Now, you talk about upsets. This team upset 4 ranked teams last year. So they're like that sniper in the woods looking to take you out. But they also lost to 5 unranked teams. But they bring back and wide receiver Tyler Wallace, who was a Biletnikoff finalist, and they bring in a freshman running back. Check this name out, Chuba Hubbard, right? 740 yards total offensive rushing yards. And after making him the starter at the last 4 games of the season, he finished up with 425 yards in those 4 games as a starter. They get a new look OC offensive coordinator, Sean Gerson, an Ivy League coach from Princeton, I believe. And he runs a quarterback run option style of play with a ton of playmakers on the offense. And they take their former QB, Jelani Woods, and converted him to tight end. So I look for a lot of trick plays out of this squad to make some stuff happen on the offense. Defensively speaking, they rank dead on the bottom. A lot of categories dead towards the bottom of the league, and they can improve there. And I don't know. I think it sets up for a lot of to be desired on the defensive side. You got anything else you want to talk about with the squad?
Now, I'll just quote out the Lindy magazine that Coach Mike Gundy says this about the new hire offensive coordinator Sean Gleason. Both his offenses last 2 years have dominated the Ivy League and have produced 2 different quarterbacks who were named Ivy League Offensive Players of the Year. So he's taking a chance right here, reaching in the bag. I think this team won a lot of games by pace. Like, they're used to scoring a lot of points because they don't play no defense, and they caught teams that are pretty good. You know how the teams take off at the beginning, and then late in the stretch they tire out, and then that's when teams like Oklahoma State can push the upset ballot on you right there. So I don't expect that as something they could just turn on and turn off whenever they want. So I don't know how well that is. If you look at the X's and O's right here, they have a really, really young team. Only a few senior starters right here. They got the new offensive coordinator. I would say overall like a balanced squad right here, but they got some spots to get better at. Definitely on defense.
Yeah.
They got to close the gap on how much yardage they're giving up. And offense last year, they were averaging 38.4 points a game, which is good enough to win games. So if they can get the offense to continue what they was doing last year and get the defense to close their gap some here, then maybe they could become a real contender. But if they don't they already letting you know the bad decision was already made going after an offensive coordinator instead of a defensive coordinator. So they might be filling the wrong holes and the boat's still sinking. But only time will tell. We'll see what goes down on the field. Any last words?
Yeah, the rough spot on the defense, especially with the DB, they had to start 3 freshmen on the defensive secondary last year. So they should probably make some improvements there. I mean, the defense will have some issues, with a bunch of new defensive linemen this year. And the only thing favorable, they do have a little bit lighter schedule than they had last year. So I'm going to be looking at maybe getting them around the probably the 7-8 win mark. Even though they had the same type of scenario last year, maybe they compete a little tougher in the conference this year.
Hey, I say same thing, same thing. 7-6, maybe a small early bowl game. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sounds good to y'all. Sounds good to my man Big Ragoo. We're gonna move over to the next team on the Boss and the Sauce. And yo, if you don't subscribe, make sure you subscribe, like, follow, tell a friend, and keep this going. We got more content coming to y'all soon, but we off to the next team.